And as you can see, this is the amount of items we've got just within few minutes, and as you can see, there are a bunch more coming through these hoppers. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back again to another awesome Minecraft video. So as you can see behind me, I came up with a really awesome mob farm design. So basically, I've been testing with many different blocks and testing whether or not mobs can spawn on them. And surprisingly enough, mobs can actually spawn on top of these open fence gates. That is absolutely insane, because as you can see, mobs are just spawning there and they just immediately fall, because these trapdoors, or not trapdoors, but the fence gates do not even have a single hitbox in them, so they just immediately fall straight down to their death no matter where they spawn. So let's say they spawn right here, they're just gonna fall straight down onto these hoppers, and their items gonna be in these chests. So basically, I made this mob farm because I was really testing with many different mob farms, and I really wanted to make a really efficient mob farm, and this is a really efficient one. So as you can see here, we get about two full double chests of items per hour, or about 5k to 6k, 5,500 items an hour, and that's absolutely crazy because this is a lot of items for 1 hour of AFK. So there are some stuff that you really want to make sure when you want to build this. So first of all, you want to consider that this could be patched in a later update. So if you want to build it, you really have to think it twice, because let's say you build it and at some point it's just going to stop working. So you have to kind of rebuild all these platforms, which is kind of a bit of a pain, but I guess that's fine, because all you have to do is just replace these ones with some platforms with water. I guess that's not a big deal. So this mob farm is really efficient because it clears the mob cap really quickly. So you want to make sure that mob cap is already clear, because right now, as you can see, I'm well above the ground, and on the ground there are a bunch of these half slabs, so mobs cannot spawn on them. So right now, the only place that mobs can spawn are on those few fence gates. So that is why this mob farm is really efficient. So if you want to build this in your world, you kind of want to go with this kind of design, because this is not so big and it's not so small. So these are 20 by 20 platforms. So there's 20 right there to there, and then 20 there to there, and there are 7 of them. But if you really want to, you could either make it bigger or higher, because they're just gonna work better. But as I said, it's going to be patched in a later update, so if you really want to build it right now, you should definitely do it today, because this is a really good mob farm. Okay, so as you can see, there are 2 blocks in between each platform, and that allows us to spawn all 2 high blocks mobs, such as zombies, skeletons, creepers, and also witches. But they don't spawn endermen, also spiders. But endermen, we don't want them to spawn, because there is a bug where endermen do not die from fall damage. I don't really know why. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But because, just to make sure that nothing's going to be on the platform, because that's just going to fill up the mob cap and make the mob farm less efficient. So we just want to make 2 blocks between each platform. So that's another thing. And also, I used a lot of hoppers here. You could also drop them onto a water stream, make them all funnel into one wide block, and just make them all fall down to their death. But that's gonna cause some issues, because that way mobs are going to be staying alive for longer, which is going to keep the mob cap full, which is not so well. So we want to kill him as fast as we can, so this is the fastest way to kill him. Also, you could have some magma blocks on top of him, and instead of having all these things, you could just have hopper minecarts going back and forth, gathering them up, and then just putting all the items to these chests. But now I am going to be showing you something really cool, so let me go to the other world. Okay, so as you can see, in this world we have this mob farm, and it is as big as it can get, and as you can see, it is quite laggy because of all of these mechanics and stuff happening and science happening background. But as you can see, mobs are falling almost all the time, and as you can see, that's what I'm talking about. Endermen, as you can see, they're not quite dying from the fall damage, so I keep having to do /kill at E to kill them all. But if you do that, they're just gonna kill them all, and you should be good to go. And hopefully they will fix this bug where endermen do not die from fall damage. But as you can see right here, in this mob farm, there are crap ton of trapdoors up there, and just loading those is just lagging my game. So just let's not look at those, because when you look at them, it's just gonna game trying to render them and just terrible stuff. So as you can see here, I am standing right at the very center of this mob farm right here. And the reason is because an area around you, a 64 by 64 area around you, is only loaded while you are playing Minecraft. So as you can see right here, from there to there is 64 blocks, and 64 blocks there, and so on every direction. So this is quite kind of like the last block we can load on this world. So my calculations were quite a little bit long, because this just was not quite loading, and it just backed up the entire thing. So this is the last block that is loaded when you're standing right down the center, and that is why these hoppers are kind of backing up, and I didn't really realize that. So I had to wait about like an hour for all of these items to funnel into these chests. But as you can see here, this is the amount of drops you will get per hour. This is absolutely crazy. This is about 7.5 stacks of items, and I was kind of shocked from this result. So I redid it again, and as you can see, I got kind of the same thing, a bit more actually. So this is kind of full, as you can see. This one has a bit more items, but in general you will get about 21,000 items an hour if you build this mob farm this big. And also, as I said, I'm not recommending you building this in your survival world, because this is probably going to be patched in a later update, and also this is going to take you ages, and probably you will not even be able to finish this before they patch this bug. But I guess this has been in the game for a very long time, and it's kind of weird that they haven't patched it yet. So if you want to build it, as I said, build the one that I showed you in the first world, because that is way more reasonable. You will get more reasonable drops, and it's way better. Okay, so I added this little tiny machine right here, command blocks, that just enables the mob spawning and then just disables it. So now there are no mobs spawning, and as you can see, we're just running it for a few minutes. As you can see, all of these hoppers are kind of even backing up in this point. And if we check like these ones, they are also kind of backing up as well. So this mob farm is super duper efficient, and as you can see, this is the amount of items we've got just within few minutes. And as you can see, there are a bunch more coming through these hoppers, so it's probably even more. But I guess that's all I've got time for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's mob farm design, and be sure to drop a like for another awesome Minecraft Pocket Edition, or actually Minecraft video soon.